Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the science section of New Earth University today, our virtual opportunity to get together. And it's good to see all of you again. It's good to see all of your names popping up. It's great to have you. It's a pleasure to be with you. I wish we were there in person, but this will do for the time being. And I want to just a quick reminder for everybody again, some ways that they can share the event, that they can maybe get others involved, as well as yourselves that are here. Make sure that you copy these links and subscribe to the channel for alerts. If you want to just copy the section link, right, just highlight it, copy it. You can copy that URL and you are good to go. You can send it to whomever you would like. You can also share the playlist, right? If you want to share the whole event, you can share the playlist link. So you'll get alerts also. If you subscribe to this channel, you'll get alerts when sections start. So just subscribe to New Earth's channel and you won't miss a thing. You'll be there just in time. Quick reminder again, we have our NEU special. It was previously a little bit under wraps. It was hidden in secret, but we're bringing it out in the open. So this is a really great bundle. In celebration of New Earth University Aloha, we are combining some of our fan favorite products and swag into a limited edition package, a synergistic combination of 5 of our most loved products. That is body, mind, enzymes, spectrobiotic, and energize. Those are the bigs, right? This package encompasses the Aloha spirit 100%. Now, this is with all the other swag and everything that is in there, that's a $318 pack. You can purchase this pack for just $225. That is not a typo. That is real. We're not kidding. It's a really big deal. It's not going to last long. There are limited supply of some of these items. So dive in now. It's over a $90 savings. It is awesome. You can also use this pack in a limited basis for enrollment as a new associate, as a new wellness entrepreneur. So you can enroll with it and you can buy it. You can also send that out to people on your team and your organization. Hey, there's a promotion. It's temporary. This is something you may want to take advantage of, and they can do it. So each NEU Aloha pack includes a special New Earth branded bracelet, a pill pack. Yes, we brought back that beautiful blue pill pack, a water bottle, as well as a Go Giver book. And it is really just an insightful pack. I'm grateful to our leadership, Bilal and Jerry, for allowing us to do something that is this big of an upside on it. It's really great. Enroll as an associate, and you're also going to save on the enrollment price. So if you use this pack as an enrollment, we're also going to cut the enrollment down to $49. So that's another savings of another $50. You can't beat that. So like I said, while supplies last, it's available for the USA only, standard orders. This bundle is not eligible for the try something new promotion. And this is going to expire on the 17th today at 8 p.m. Pacific time. So you do not want to miss it. All right. I promised that we would talk about science, and who better to talk about science than our lead scientist and the leader of our company, the president, Jerry Anderson. Jerry, I'm really looking forward to your presentation. He's going to talk to us a little bit about Aloha and nature.
Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today here at New Earth University. Now, the word aloha does have many significant meanings, as Kevin just spoke about. So I'd like to talk more about the word aloha, and especially the spirit of aloha and how it relates to nature, and so to the foods that we eat that are gathered from nature. As you heard Kevin say, aloha is not a word with a simple translation. It doesn't mean just one thing to Native Hawaiians. Aloha has several meanings and is so much more than just a word that is commonly used as a simple greeting. It has a deeper cultural and spiritual significance to Native Hawaiians and to others, and it guides their everyday lives. So the word aloha is something that you experience. It's your interaction with life, it's your passion and your joy, and it's something that's present within you. But at the same time, it's something that you share, something that is spread to those around you, sharing that energy and joy that is within you. Do wild, whole, real foods from nature bring you joy? Do you have a passion for nature and real foods from nature? And do you like to share those passions with others? If I were to hazard a guess, I would think you do. So the Aloha way is to be in unity and harmony with yourself and nature, to be honest, truthful, patient, and kind to all life forms. Kirby Rule of Aloha International said, quoting, "I respect all that is as part of the Creator and part of me. I will not willfully harm anyone or anything, and when food is needed, I will take only my need and explain why it is being taken. The earth and the water are mine to care for, to cherish, and to protect. This is Aloha." So New Earth's 3 pillars, live, give, and grow. I think they encompass some of the themes found in the spirit of Aloha. Let's take the live pillar, for example. The New Earth experience is anchored in a line of whole, wild superfoods from nature. Now, the meaning of Aloha likewise encompasses the spirit of all of the plants, the earth and Mother Nature. Mother Nature cares for us in a myriad of ways, and we value earth and nature, and it gives us the foods we need to survive. So the spirit of Aloha encompasses the spirit of nature. What makes our ingredients and products so special and elevates them? Well, we utilize ingredients in a way that no one else does. We believe in whole, wild, superfood solutions. Not only because we believe them to be more nutritious and filled with life force, but because they are more in line with respecting and treading lightly on earth. AFA wild microalgae, blueberries, and some of the mushrooms, they're actually wild harvested. And all of the ingredients are non-GMO, they're all natural, and many of the ingredients, when we can find them, are organic and considered raw foods. The New Earth community respects and values nature too. We've seen it throughout the years from many of you in the New Earth community. We've witnessed firsthand many examples of how you have cared for and protected and given back to the earth, recycling and reducing, cleaning up of trash, consuming organic foods, composting, and treading lightly and living simply. And we've also seen you experience the joys of nature. After all, nature is well, it's where we can gain the wisdom to make responsible choices if we approach it with aloha in our heart. So it's the same with the home team. We encourage the home team to be good global citizens, to give back to the community and give back to nature. Over the years, there have been many examples of New Earth supporting environmental enhancements. Some just small projects and other bigger ones. Habitat restoration, wetland restoration, planting trees, cleaning trash from the roadways and water bodies, and many other things. Many of the New Earth Eco Tours also, they include projects that support nature and the environment. If you remember, we built birdhouses one year, and we've done some litter and trash cleanup and removal, and improved walking trails in the area. How many times have you heard Bilal or Kevin or myself say we are stewards of the Klamath Lake environment? Klamath Lake is the only place in the world that provides wild AFA microalgae that we've all been consuming for years. And we take a number of precautions to preserve the lake environment. First, we monitor the upland watershed to be on the lookout for any potential problems. And we train the harvest crew annually to minimize the impact on the environment so that there's nothing put into the lake. All cleaning solutions, processing materials, and miscellaneous items the crew needs during the day, they're all brought back to land and disposed of properly. And we also use boat motors that are environmentally friendly and don't contaminate the lake environment. So we want to protect nature. And nature is continuously and generously giving to satisfy our needs and fulfill our wishes. But here is also a meaning of give and take. So just as nature gives of itself, we must give of ourselves back to nature. This concept can be found in the telling of the creation story about Papa and Wakea, the Prime Earth Mother and the Sky Father. I think there are different versions of the creation story of Hawaii, but this one speaks to nature. From the first union of Papa and Wakea comes a child, and when the child passes on, from his body grows a shoot that Wakea names Aloha. This shoot becomes the first taro plant. The next child to be born is also named Aloha in honor of his sibling, and he becomes the prime ancestor of mankind. Now, literally, Aloha means long waving stem, and is the taro plant, which is a staple of the Polynesian diet. But it also represents all plants that grow on this earth. Aloha also means long breath, and on a higher level, it means everlasting cycle. The cycle of life and death of plants sustain all creatures, including us. Plants are a source of food and medicine, and they produce the oxygen we breathe. Aloha was named in honor of these plants and to remind us to honor and support the everlasting cycle, the gift of life that passes from humans to plants and then back to humanity. This story tells us that the quality of our existence is ultimately tied to nature. Nature's continuous transformative cycles of water, air, and birth and death are necessary for existence. Nature is an embodiment of the meaning of aloha and vice versa. It's no coincidence that aloha and haloa are respellings of each other. It is in nature that we can discover the wonder of our existence on earth. Where else but in nature is the spirit of aloha easier to experience? Its beauty is awe-inspiring and energizing and draws you into the present moment. So again from Kirby Rule, he quotes, "Nature is where we can gain the wisdom to make responsible choices if we approach it with aloha in our hearts. With an attitude of aloha, we can gain from the wisdom of the wind and the wisdom of the water and the wisdom of the soil and the wisdom of the trees and learn from the truth and revelations present by non-human community." So I encourage you to let aloha be your guide in your daily lives. And I also invite you to share the spirit of aloha by sharing New Earth products that really can change people's lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. That was really, really good. And I know that it was, without question, true to who we are. It is kind of astounding how much in common our products and this spirit of aloha really have in common. Next up, we have another testimonial to share with you. I'm really excited about the testimonials we get to see today. So pay close attention. These are things that you may want to share with others.
I take Renew, and that's the product actually I was first introduced to New Earth. And the most exciting thing of Renew was, at that time, 8 years back, I just remember now, stem cells was hot. And this was one of the companies which actually advocated the stem cells nutrition. And that's the reason I started taking Renew. As a medical profession, one thing is what I've learned in physiology or anatomy, especially physiology, it makes sense. Cellular level, energy, ancient food, they all make real good physiological sense. And you know what? I introduced to my own mother, so you know how much I have respect for this product to introduce to your own mother, and that's why I would recommend to everybody.
Our next speaker is Barbara Swanson. Barbara is an author of a phenomenal book. I really hope that all of you have checked it out. It's called Beyond Foods. And she has been with New Earth for a very long time. I also happen to know that she is a huge fan of Aloha and the spirit of Aloha, because I know how she lives her life. I know that it's directly in tune with nature. So I'm excited to hear Barb talk to us about supplements for superior immune function.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to my presentation at New Earth University. Aloha to you all. So today I'm going to speak about supplements for superior immune function, and specifically about what the science tells us on some of New Earth's products that contain some pretty incredible nutrients for immune health. First of all, it's important to realize your body was created to exist in our world with bacteria, microbes, viruses, and all. Your body is incredibly able to protect you from the majority of invaders, and it does so on a daily basis. In fact, your immune system actually relies on the bacteria in your gut to help it. You also need to provide your body the raw materials, the nutrients for your immune system to function at its peak. Immune health is a system. It isn't a single thing. It's not an action. It's not a single cell. Because we can't live without immune protection, our bodies have a very complex system in place to help protect us both from external and internal invaders. A very simplified explanation. You basically have two types of immune function. You have your innate system and an adaptive system. You're born with an innate immune system. There are innate immune cells in your skin and gut. They produce several different types of immune response proteins. These two organs, your skin and your gut, interact directly with our environment. Your skin obviously is exposed to the environment, but also what you put in your mouth is basically your environment going inside of you. So your innate immune system is really there to protect you from what we're coming into contact with as a part of being alive on this planet. This system also includes things like stomach acid, mucous membranes, and the cough reflex. So it's not just immune cells, it's a whole system of things to protect you from what's out there. Your innate immune system influences and informs your adaptive immune system. Your adaptive immune system responds to signals from your innate immune system. It also will actively respond to invaders. How well it functions depends on how accurately your body can discern safe invaders, think of foods. It consists mostly of white blood cells and then other blood-based immune proteins. So your adaptive immune system goes into your cells and helps to remove cells that have been damaged, for example, that may cause issues later in life. So regardless of what it is, your body is protected or meant to be protected with immune function. So New Earth immune boosters, because our products are functional whole foods, most of them actually benefit your immune health to one degree or another. But the following three really take your immune health up a big notch. First, probiotics. These primarily benefit the innate immune system. Fungi, these benefit both immune systems, but they have primary effects on your innate immune system. And then AFA algae has proven to benefit both immune systems, but there are special benefits that it gives to your adaptive system. So these three categories of nutrients can offer some pretty broad spectrum benefits for your immune health. So immune booster number one, probiotics. 70% of your innate immune system is located in your gut, and probiotics are proven to help support immune health. Your gut is host to over 100 trillion individual bacteria from over 500 species. That's 10 times as many bacteria as there are human cells in your body. We are vastly outnumbered. Our humanity is outnumbered by the bacteria and other types of living organisms in our gut. We really, really need good organisms to be supporting good immune health. So let's look at some of the science. Studies regarding the biological consequences of probiotics in host immunity suggested that they regulate the functions of systemic and mucosal immune cells and intestinal epithelial cells. So these are all the different types of cells found in your skin and your gut, and actually even in your lungs. The purpose of the second study I'm about to talk about is to investigate the effects of a probiotic supplementation on adult volunteers. So the study is a single-center, double-blind, randomized, controlled prospective trial. The results of that study demonstrated that probiotics were safe by boosting the immune system. Now, we're not curing anything. What we are talking about is your immune system being better able to respond appropriately and quickly when it is presented with a challenge or an invader. The third study is the results of a meta-analysis. So the entire meta-analysis includes 4,513 children. Children supplemented with probiotics had fewer numbers of days absent from daycare or school. So the conclusion of this quite large meta-analysis is that based on the available data and taking into account the safety profile of randomized controlled studies, probiotic consumption appears to be a feasible way. It's helping your immune system. And that's what we want our functional foods and things like probiotics to do. So the key message when it comes to probiotics in your immune health is that probiotic bacteria, their cell walls, or probiotic fermented foods have significant effects on the functionality of the mucosal and systemic immune systems through the activation of multiple immune mechanisms. So your probiotics aren't doing just a single thing with a single cell. They are working on different types of tissues, both mucosal and systemic systems, and they are activating multiple types of immune responses, which is how you're going to keep your body the most healthy when it is subjected to a stressor like an invader. Immune booster number 2 is fungi. Fungi terraformed our planet, and they contain some of the most biologically elemental and active nutrients known. What does this mean? In fact, some of the nutrients found in fungi helped create the templates for health within our own DNA. In other words, our DNA is basically created to have a codependence on some of the nutrients found in fungi because they're such an ancient food. The immune benefits found in tonic mushrooms come from several different nutrients, including vitamins like D2, C, E, and B vitamins, microminerals like selenium, antioxidant families, including ergosterols and triterpenoids, and then beta-glucans. So I want to talk about antioxidant families. There's many of them. Ergosterols have hundreds of studies on their benefits to our health. And there's over 300 different families, 300 different types of triterpenoids that have been identified. So we're talking really big antioxidant families with a lot of diverse benefits for your health, including immune health. But we're going to focus in on beta-glucans. Beta-glucans are a type of soluble fiber that do have incredible health benefits. There are different types of beta-glucans, and they're named according to how their molecules are strung together. After a century and a half of research, studies have shown that beta-glucans act as immunomodulator agents, meaning that they trigger a cascade of events that help regulate the immune system, making it more efficient. Clinical trials have shown that the specific type of beta-glucan structure that is found in yeast and other fungi are the most effective in supporting a healthy immune response. There are beta-glucans in many different types of grains. Oats has a very popular beta-glucan, but the yeast and fungal beta-glucans have been shown to be particularly effective in supporting our innate immune function. So how do they work? They work with our innate immune cells. We're born with these specialized cells in our gut and our skin, and they're one of our baseline systems of defense. So immune cells found in all parts of the skin are called fibroblasts, and they create a spider web-like tentacle that goes throughout the skin, almost like a lattice work. And they patrol and engulf foreign invaders that may come in from the top of our skin. Immune cell clusters in your gut are called Peyer's patches. Here they jump into action with several different types of immune response cells when an invader is detected. When you take beta-glucans, it wakes up that fibroblast and or Peyer patch cell. Beta-glucans improve the ability of the immune cells to do their work. They don't cause a specific response. They enhance whatever the best response would be for your immune system, dependent upon what that invader is. So it leaves it up to your body to be the most intelligent way that it's going to respond. It just makes it more able to respond. So this is a nice image of what that kind of looks like. On the left, you see a beta-glucan molecule, and that blue cell structure is like a white blood cell, for example. And you'll see there's a receptor. There actually are specific receptors on these immune cells for beta-glucans. And when those beta-glucans attach to the receptors on your immune cells, those immune cells are like caught. They're like, okay, I'm ready to go. I haven't gone, but I'm ready to go. So now your immune cell is on top of it. It is like ready to go. And it may produce interleukins. It may produce immunoglobulins. It may produce a cytokine. It will produce whatever makes the most sense. I love that beta-glucans work with the intelligence of your body. So here is some of the science. The strong immunostimulating potential of beta-glucans has been well established, and results of this particular study found that a 2-week oral feeding with glucan mixture. So this is an immune challenge in mice. Our study was focused on phagocytosis, cytokine levels, and antibody response with cytotoxicity assay. Based on the data, we concluded that these effects are caused by a stimulation of both cellular and humoral immune reaction. The body's reaction to the invader is very powerful and effective, and that's what we're looking for. Fungi and immune health key message. Tonic mushrooms are scientifically accepted as powerful immunomodulating due to their unique nutrients and nutrient families. And then the third immune booster is our AFA algae. Cyanobacteria were the first food on Earth. They contain elemental nutrients. In fact, these nutrients help create the templates for health within our own DNA. Just like with fungi, this is a very ancient food, the most ancient food. And the elemental nutrients in this food are the elemental nutrients our bodies were created to use. AFA algae nutrients that support immune health include vitamins, and especially it's rich in B vitamin complex. It has a complete essential acid amino profile, a complete micromineral profile, antioxidants like PEA and glutathione, and then light harvesting pigments, including chlorophyll and phycocyanin, as well as, no doubt, other nutrients that have not yet even been discovered. So this first study, the results, consumption of afanosamenon plus aqua had rapid effects on the circulation and function of immune cells in humans. So the conclusion is that afanosamenon plus aqua, AFA, was found to aid in increased immune cell travel, leading to increased immune surveillance, but did not directly stimulate the immune system. So important. So this is in your adaptive immune system. We're talking about blood cells that circulate in your blood that need to go into your tissues to look for problems with virus infections, to look for problems with damaged cells. And according to the conclusion of this study, the circulation and function of those types of immune cells were increased dramatically. But it didn't actually stimulate a reaction. It just made those cells go out and check things out, put them on patrol. So the results of the second study, consumption of freeze-dried AFA algae resulted in a significant decrease of percent of natural killer cells in circulation 2 hours after consumption. So the conclusion of that result, AFA had an almost immediate effect on blood lymphocytes. NK cells were reduced by 60% after AFA consumption. Although the exact mechanisms are not known, this study could conclude that there was an increase in immune surveillance by natural killer cells after AFA consumption. And again, like that first study, it's just talking about these immune cells are put on patrol. They're not doing anything unless they find something wrong, but they're actively going to go look and see if there's anything wrong. So the key message of AFA algae is that it is proven to be a powerful immune modulating food. And in fact, this is from the Memorial Sloan Kettering Center. It says that blue-green algae may boost your immune system and have natural immune properties. Now, I would like to say if I had more time, I would have actually gone on because there are several other products we have that have phenomenal immune boosting benefits. That's so in Energize, in Rebound. Those are just two of the other products that we could be talking about, but this is enough for today, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you so much.
It was a great presentation from Barbara Swanson. Barbara, thank you so much. We really owe a lot to you. I know a lot of people look up to you and see you as a very qualified voice in this space for a good reason. So thank you for all that you do. And next up, we have another great testimonial to share with you. Take a look.
I really notice how it's enhanced my mental clarity, my focus, and just energy all around. I do a lot of sports. Like I do a lot of, I do rock climbing, I do base jumping, I do running, biking. I live a very active life. And so for me to be able to do those sports with more energy, more focus, that's what I got from the algae.
Our next speaker is a voice that all of you recognize. He is authoritative and very, very powerful in helping people understand the raw power of nature, but also just the raw power of our algae, of our product. It's something else. He's also a published author. He wrote the book, Eat Light, Feel Bright. And it is a testament to the power of algae, not only to restore our bodies, but to also restore a planet. It's pretty incredible, the research that he's done, compiled, put together, and shared with each of us. Of course, I am talking about Dr. Jeffrey Bruno. Dr. Bruno, thank you for taking the time to be with us.
My name is Jeffrey Bruno. I'm going to speak on three core nutritional concepts: food enzymes, probiotics, and wild microalgae. I'm going to speak from my personal experience as someone who has used all three on a nearly daily basis for the past 40 years. I'm going to speak as a licensed health professional, a psychologist, who specialized in mind-body approaches, including nutrition. And I'm going to speak as a teacher and author who has extensively researched and educated thousands of people on this approach. The challenge. We are living in an increasingly sick world. The signs are everywhere. In the United States, nearly 80% of adults 55 years and older have at least one chronic illness. Nearly 50% of adults 55 years and older have two or more chronic illness conditions. A chronic illness is any physical or mental health condition that lasts for more than a year and requires both treatment and ongoing monitoring, as well as limits a person's function. Chronic illnesses are our nation's leading cause of death and disability, and the numbers keep growing. Chronic illnesses account for nearly 75% of overall healthcare spending, which amounts to annually over $1 trillion on medical treatments and lost productivity of work. Simply, with our ever-increasing proportion of the aging population, if we wait for government or profit-driven medical industry or corporate-sponsored major media to find a solution, we are simply doomed. I'm going to share with you another approach, which represents the foundations of a nutritional supplemental program that I've used for nearly 40 years. That is the use of food enzymes, probiotic bacteria, and wild blue-green algae that all work together to promote wellness. Digestion begins in our mouth and travels through our intestines, entering our blood supply and eventually cells, tissues, and organs. I first learned about the benefits of food enzyme supplements in my early 20s. I was at a health seminar and met another attendee who was in his 8th decade, but looked the picture of health and vitality. I remember being so impressed by him, I walked up to him and asked what he attributed his good health to. He told me he never missed a meal without taking his food enzymes, and he drank lots of pure water. Years later, I was most fortunate to meet Viktor Kulvinskas, author of Don't Dine Without Enzymes, Survival of Civilization in the 21st Century, and a leading raw foods advocate. He would explain to me the numerous benefits of food enzymes and was fond of saying, when eating, take enzymes. When not eating, take enzymes. He felt, especially for anyone eating cooked food, that they should take food enzyme supplements to compensate for the enzymes that were destroyed during the cooking process. Within our bodies, digestive enzymes are mostly released by the pancreas to help break down fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. So these three main types of food enzymes are amylase, to break down carbohydrates into simple sugars like glucose, protease, to break down proteins into amino acids, lipase, to break down fats into fatty acids and glycerol, as well as a variety of other enzymes that can help digest lactose and gluten and fibers. Victor was also a student of Dr. Edward Howell, one of the earliest scientific advocates for using supplement-based food enzymes. Dr. Howell believed that enzyme-rich diets, including live food as well as food enzymes, promoted good health and long life, whereas food enzyme deficiencies found in heavily processed or cooked foods promoted disease and premature aging. What are some of the benefits of food enzymes? First, they can help with nutrient absorption and decrease feelings of bloating. This helps your overall energy level. You know, particularly if you're eating a heavy meal like at Thanksgiving, when you add food enzymes, you will rapidly notice an alleviation of that heaviness and an increase in energy. Food enzymes can promote healthy bowel function helping to reduce constipation or diarrhea. Food enzymes support immune function. And food enzymes support methylation and the absorption of B vitamins. Food enzymes promote brain function by helping to separate long protein chains into smaller essential and non-essential amino acids that help neurotransmitter productions. Food enzymes can help curb food cravings so that you get satisfied with less food. And food enzymes can promote healthy heart function by improving circulation. 2, probiotics. The giant food industry is a big business. Think about it. Food is one of the most essential commodities for human existence. Air, water, food. We need them to survive. Human civilization grew out of a combination of hunters and gatherers and farmers. When my father was born in 1918, there were literally tens of millions of small American farmers. Now, corporate industrial farming is so dominant that there are fewer and fewer small farms in America. Mostly, a handful of dozens of multinational corporations seem to control almost everything the average American eats. In just the past 65 years since I was born, we've moved away from a whole plant food being at the center of the plate, the Mediterranean diet, to a more highly processed use of grains, loaded with salt and sugar and artificial chemical additives, along with animal products being at the center of the plate. Our food is heavily processed, pre-cooked, boxed, and engineered primarily for long shelf lives. Sometimes I wonder how many decades an unopened Hostess Twinkie might last. Many so-called food packages are dated to last for months or years. This is dead food with little vital life force. Why would food manufacturers do this? For profit, profit, and more profit. Certainly, this is not done for your health or my health. Our cells, the basic engines of bodily existence, have evolved over billions of years. Only a small portion of our body is made up of mammalian cells. In fact, most of our cells are bacterial cells and even contain some living and extinct viruses. In fact, we wouldn't even be alive. Mothers couldn't give birth to their children. We'd lack a protective immune system if it weren't for these alien microscopic life forms that co-inhabit our body. Especially in our guts, in the small and large intestines, we have pounds of bacterial cells that are essential for healthy digestion and immune function. At first, we were colonized by our mother's bacteria within the womb during vaginal delivery and by drinking her breast milk. Once we started to eat solid foods and play in the dirt, we began to gather additional bacteria. Traditional cultures knew the benefits of fermented foods that contributed friendly bacteria and supported friendly bacteria. However, as corporate food giants took over, our food increasingly became robbed of beneficial bacteria due to excessive food processing and preservatives. Now, most people need to take supplemental probiotics to replace what was once freely given by nature. What are the benefits of probiotic products, such as Acidophilus bifidobacteria and a whole host of probiotics found in like spectrobiotics. It helps our intestinal tract with the production of B vitamins, biotin, folic acid, digestive enzymes, and vitamin K. Probiotics help to alkalinize our intestinal pH and can promote healthier balance of friendly flora in the gut. The coating of beneficial bacteria can also help reduce the amount of environmental toxins that we may take into our bloodstream. Also, beneficial bacteria in the gut have the ability to produce their own natural antibiotics to combat unhealthy bacteria, viruses, and yeast. One of my earliest nutrition teachers, Dr. Bernard Jensen, used to always say that health begins in the gut. And certainly with enzymes and probiotic and good whole food, one is already starting to produce a healthy gut. Third, let's talk about eating wild microalgae. I was first introduced to blue-green manna, which was one of the first wild harvested microalgae available in modern times, about 40 years ago. I had a naturopathic teacher, Dr. John Ray, who declared that this was the world's best brain food. I was in my early 20s and already suffering from some memory decline, brain fog, and general spaciness. Within weeks of eating this wild microalgae, the same algae as wild mind, I noticed significant mental and overall energy improvements. I've been eating it daily ever since. It's one of the few whole food supplements that most people do feel the difference. AFA microalgae is one of the most nutrient-dense complete foods in a highly bioactive and bioavailable form. What does that mean? This whole food nutrient easily dissolves and is easily absorbed into your blood, brain, organ systems, and even the cells of your body. How does this do it? First, as one of Earth's earliest food organisms, nearly 3.5 billion years old, it's composed entirely of super teeny digestible cells with no cell nucleus or indigestible parts. Most plants or animals have parts we can't digest and cells that are 20 to 30 times larger. Moreover, blue-green microalgae are loaded with nutrients not commonly found in any other single plant or animal. About 60% of microalgae is made up of essential amino acids and nearly all non-essential amino acids that can help repair or build new cells, neurotransmitters, or hormones. Also, microalgae offers one of the richest sources of trace minerals and one of the widest ranges of essential fatty acids, including DHA, with powerful antioxidants and a host of vitamins. What are the benefits of microalgae? First, it provides some of the richest sources of antioxidants. The beneficial properties of microalgae can support your detoxification pathways in your skin, lungs, kidney, liver, and intestines. Microalgae is one of the most powerful brain foods. Microalgae offers a unique source of DHA and other heart protective nutrients that can lower homocysteine, improve circulation. There are so many health benefits to microalgae that I spent nearly a decade researching in depth numerous scientific research articles, hundreds of scientific research articles, which culminated in my writing a 469-page book on the health benefits of microalgae called Eat Light and Feel Bright. I absolutely will not go one day if possible, without these remarkable food supplements of enzymes, probiotics, and wild microalgae. Why don't more people know or rely upon these three nutritional food principles? Food enzymes, probiotics, and microalgae. Remember, we are living in a very sick nation and unfortunately in an increasingly sick world where a few dozen multinational corporations seem to control most everything that people buy and consume. And these powerful interests are increasingly trying to shape how we behave, even how we think about ourselves in our world. Now, it's really up to you. Are you going to wait for some governmental or big pharma technological solutions? Or are you willing to add more enzymes, probiotics, and wild algae to your diet? The choice is yours. We can work with nature, natural solutions to improve our overall wellness and use technology when we have an understanding of the benefits and the risks in those areas that we choose to. But remember that health begins in the gut and food is your best medicine. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bruno. What a phenomenal presentation. And thank you for taking the time to put that together for each of us. I hope that all of you will find a way to take some of these snippets, some of these talks that cover this incredible science and send them out to your team that couldn't be with us today, and send them out to your customers. Very good, very valuable information. Don't forget, we do have a special New Earth University bundle, the Aloha bundle, that is available today only. It's a combination of our 5 most loved products: Body, Mind, Enzymes, Spectrobiotic, and Energize. It is incredible. The deal that we've put on it, $318 value, selling it for $90 off, over that, $225. It's incredible. It's a really great deal, and it will not be lasting longer than 8 o'clock. It turns into a pumpkin. We're not going to actually send you a pumpkin, but it turns into a pumpkin at 8 o'clock. So do not forget it. And don't forget that you can also use this to enroll as a new wellness entrepreneur and associate, and we will reduce your enrollment fee for just $49. That's incredible. So while supplies last, available for US orders. Looking forward to all of you taking advantage of that while it lasts. And that, folks, is the science section of New Earth University. I'm grateful that you'd take the time to spend with us, to listen to these incredible presentations, and hopefully, you've had the opportunity to see what New Earth products are really all about. It is very, very important that we know a little bit about the science. And if we don't know about the science, it's important that we have the wherewithal to send people links to those who do know the science. These videos will be available to you. You'll be able to send them to anybody that you'd like that has questions or wants further understanding about the products that we have available here at New Earth. They'll all be shareable with customers and prospects alike. I'm looking forward to all of that. Now, the next section will be coming at 3 p.m. Pacific. We'll be talking about products, specifically about New Earth products. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you then.